Hi, I'm Karen Rice and welcome to my YouTube watercolour channel. This tutorial is going to be kind of like in two parts. The first part is how to develop your own style. Thank you so much to Jet7777 who actually asked me in one of the comments how to develop their own style, and I thought it would be a really good suggestion in the poll. Thank you everyone who voted in the poll. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to talk about what I think is best how to develop your style. The second part of this video is going to be the extended version of the pen and wash that was part of my tutorial last Sunday. So I'm going to go much more into depth about how to paint pen and wash. So thank you for everyone in the comment section who sort of voted for their favourite. I really appreciate it, and I really hope you enjoy the extended tutorial. Okay, so getting back to the subject of how to develop your own style. So my first bit of advice is practice. Not just practicing how to draw, how to paint. You want to really get to know your subject. Practice it, really practice it so you feel confident. You know, paint every day if you can. Have a sketchbook, have a mood board, take your own photographs, use those. There's so many ways. What I will do in the description below is I'll list out all those sort of things, so it kind of gives you a reminder if you're really sort of keen on developing your own style. My second bit of advice is to use other artists' work in a way, not to necessarily copy, and certainly don't pass it off as your own, but if you think about the great masters, they all sort of copied sort of older paintings and things like that. It's just to home in again on those skills, to learn from them, that they're like your teachers, so you're learning from them. So I really encourage that. So my third bit of advice is get yourself inspired. Look at things that you like. Don't necessarily paint what you think everyone else is going to like. Paint what you like and tell a story about that. That's the most important thing, because people want to know what you feel, what you like, how you paint. For instance, I went out in the woods the other day. A lot of you saw those paintings that I did from that. I was so inspired. I was out there in nature. I was taking photographs. I was filming. I did a little bit of sketching in my sketchbook. Got myself inspired. Find what you like and go with that and get yourself inspired. So my fourth bit of advice is you really can learn from your mistakes. They are all part of your progression in your style as an artist. Let your mistakes guide you to your kind of what you want to say. You know, they are part of you. And finally, what I think my best piece of advice is really just spend time on experimenting still, but just working on your own stuff without being influenced now by other people's styles, because you've learnt lots already. You know what you like, you've inspired yourself. So I really hope you find this helpful and it's answered some of your questions. And as I say, I'll try and list some of these helpful bits of advice in the description below. And if you have any questions as well about developing your style, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. So we're going to get started now with this little pen and wash. I really hope you enjoy the extended version. So, shall we get started? Now I'm using my Unipin fine liner. I use this pen a lot. It's 0.8mm nib and it's waterproof, and I use it for my pen and wash paintings. I haven't done that many on here, even though I do a lot, but I always start out very lightly sketching with my pen. I almost use the side of it and not the tip of it, where the ink comes out quicker and much more even. So at the side you can really sketch lightly. And as you can see here, I've got very broken edges, and that enables me, if I do make a mistake, I can disguise it. If you have closed lines, sort of, you know, they've got no gaps in between them, it's very difficult to hide mistakes. I always say to anyone I've taught in the past, just keep it sort of very loose at the beginning. Don't commit yourself too much. Do these very light marks, and you can always change it later, because obviously with pen you can't rub this out. The only way of actually correcting this is to use white gouache or white acrylic paint, but it will create a different sort of surface. But it, you know, if you've got a brilliant drawing and there's one little mistake here, that's a great answer to that problem. Now, another little tip with the pen is don't put too much detail in. Don't sort of fill it in with black ink. Leave that to the watercolour, because I always sort of think that it ends up being like a drawing and not really suitable for pen and wash. It's just me, but I really sort of feel strongly about that. Just keep it as a sketch. But I'm just sort of sketching in the main tree here, the star of the show. And again, sort of still lightly putting in the marks. I love creating different marks, dots and circles and scribbles. And your scribbles can look like quite a nice drawing, in fact. I'm actually sort of cross-hatching here, and cross-hatching is really useful for shading. And I'm doing this in the background sort of foliage here and in the foreground as well, just doing a little bit of cross-hatching on the tree as well. Again, don't overdo that. I like to work in sort of 2 stages, both in the wash and in the pen. So basically you get 4 sort of stages. And I'll go through those. So this is stage 1, and stage 1 is sketching with your pen the outline of the drawing, very, very loose, not committing yourself to too much detail, because you'll do this in stage 3. You can swap this around and you can actually put washes, watercolour washes on first, pale ones, and then let that dry, and then put your first drawing stage on, and that's quite a nice way of working. But I usually put my drawing on first and then my wash on. So this is my stage 2, putting the wash on the painting. You don't have to wait for anything to dry here. The pen is waterproof, so I can work straight on here wet on dry, and I'm just using a mixture of a bit of ultramarine and a little bit of red as well, or you could use Paynes grey, burnt sienna mixed together, whatever you have to make a grey colour. I'm painting this on very dilute, so working light to dark and keeping the left hand side of the trees white, or keeping the light of the paper as much as possible. And I'm just using a little bit of yellow here, painting this wet on dry, and I let my brush, I try and tell myself I'm dancing over the surface of the paper. I'm not trying to fill in like you would a colouring book exercise. I'm really, if you leave little white gaps and the little white gaps appear, just leave them, because that's what gives you that sort of spontaneity and freshness with pen and wash. So I'm just putting on some really dilute washes here. I'm using a bit of Quinacridone Gold, a little bit of Daniel Smith's Moonglow, Ultramarine, just really varying these very sort of pale washes. So remember, don't get too dark with these washes. Pen and wash, the pen is doing a lot of the talking, so just keep it really light and pale and let that brush just flitter around the surface of the paper. I'm just using ultramarine here for the forget-me-nots, keeping it really random. I've mixed up some spring green colours here. That's the cerulean and lemon yellow. And I'm using my size 6 brush, working wet on dry. And remember, I'm not trying to fill in everything, so there are some white spaces, and that's absolutely okay to have with pen and wash. In fact, I encourage it. So I'm just sort of working on these grasses in the foreground, just pressing hard and flicking up and just varying the colours in that area there, just trying to be as free as possible. I'm using a bit of Moonglow now, the touch of ultramarine. I'm just painting the cast shadow of this tree and on the other trees, even if they're not that obvious in the picture. I really recommend doing that. This is artistic tools that we're using to bring a painting to life and to create depth. I'm using some cerulean now, painting wet on dry, just for some sky. It's not as bright as that, but again, I'm using these artistic tools to create an interest in my painting there. So I'm just softening that and blending with my size 6 brush. I'm working now on these sort of distant bushes and trees here. Again, still using the size 6 brush, working quite quickly really, so that enables me not to sort of fill in too much. So I've got this lovely light coming as well from the paper. I'm just mixing a touch of Moonglow here and a bit of Quinacridone Gold, quite a creamy colour. I advise you though just to be careful, because I like to create the darks with the pen, but in this instance, because it is quite dark in the photograph, I just thought I'd get away with it. So I'm sort of painting this a little bit wet into wet, still using this size 6 brush. As you saw there, I mixed up some ultramarine with a tiny touch of pink, and I'm just stippling in some more little forget-me-not flowers there, working really wet on dry. This is Daniel Smith's Lavender, which I love. I've still kept a little bit there from a previous painting. I'm just wetting that now to bring it to life. It was from a tube, and I'm going to spatter that sort of wet on dry onto the surface there, just to create some smaller and more textured effects. So I allowed my painting to dry. So I've done 2 stages, the first drawing stage and the first wash stage. It's amazing how much the painting dries so much lighter. So this is a stage where I start to build in a little bit more detail and sort of use more black ink here for my pen and wash. So at that first stage, I'm very light, I'm very cautious, and I let the watercolour paint also help me to decide, you know, where I'm going to put my pen next. So working wet on dry, do make sure your painting is absolutely dry, because sometimes when you work with these pens on damp paper, it stops them from working. So yes, wet on dry, and I'm just sort of really just building up details by cross-hatching, using more lines. As you can see there, I'm cross-hatching and scribbling the other way. I really love to be so expressive when I'm using my pen, and remember, you can't rub it out, so it is risky, but it's so much fun. So I finished the drawing side, and I'm going to start building up some tonal values now on the painting. I'm just using very watered down ultramarine here. So just painting the ultramarine on first. I thought it was a bit too blue, so oops, I've added some red, but it's far too strong. So I just thought I'd share this with you. Sometimes your colour mixing, it doesn't always go right, but just bear with it. And if it's still not working right, just start again. You know, just wipe it off with paper towel and start again. So I added red and Moonglow there, but you could use Paynes grey, or you could actually mix ultramarine with burnt sienna. So there's lots of ways of getting different greys, or even just use indigo on its own. So I'm using my size 6 brush and just painting on the right hand side of these trees, really to show the light is coming from the left. Even though they look really dark, you can see from my palette there, they are quite watery, so don't put creamy paint on a pen and wash. Let the pen speak for itself. You need to see those lines coming through the transparent paint. I'm just painting a little bit again of cast shadow using the Moonglow, all that grey colour, and just softening with my damp size 6 brush. My painting at the top here, my pen and wash, is thoroughly dry. I just felt when I looked at it, it caught my eye, so I felt I'd finished it, but I felt it just needed a little bit more shadow on the right hand side of the trees there. So I'm just working wet on dry with my size 10 brush with a blue grey colour, and you can use ultramarine and burnt sienna, or I've used a little bit of Moonglow here as well. And sometimes when you're working like that with a palette, you can sort of mix up the colours. This is Moonglow, really sort of strong colour here, and just dropping this dark wet into wet. It's my star of the show, and I really want to bring this tree trunk forward away from the background as well to create depth. And I'm using this dark as well, just to paint some sort of darker foreground grasses, wet on dry with this size 10 brush, just to bring things forwards again and to really finish off this little pen and wash painting. So I really hope you enjoyed the extended version, and if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you'll get updates of my latest tutorials. And if you'd like to see more longer tutorials like this pen and wash, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Just click the link in the top right hand corner and it will give you more details, or check out the description below. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Happy painting. Bye for now.